Today we're out in my little garden and I thought we could just have a bit of a chat about harp and life. I put my harpsichord out here behind me just in case you don't recognize me without a harp in the picture. But I actually thought it would be quite fun to take this succulent arrangement which I made over a year ago and take it apart and refresh it because it's really been needing that. And it's been reminding me a little bit about our harp journey, and I'll talk to you about that a bit later. But in the meantime, let's just chat a little bit. I'm going to take this apart and put it back together because some of these pieces of the succulent arrangement are still looking pretty good, but this was not meant to be a massive tree. It was just a small part of the arrangement and clearly not meant to be in a tiny bowl like this, and then other bits have died away and yeah, definitely don't need to be here anymore. But I love making these little arrangements because yeah, it's just so pretty when you've got all the succulents joined together and making almost like a little artwork. But I'll just chat a little bit about what's been going on with me recently. So I've had my harpsichord at home, which you might remember from previous videos that I said, oh, I haven't been playing the harp at home so much because mostly my harps are where I film my videos, which is not at home. But I've taken my harpsichord home and I've been playing it a little bit more with like when friends come over and they want to hear the harp, I'll play the harpsichord for them. And it's just been really fun to improvise a little bit more on the harp, just making up little things, little original things, and being able to share that music with other people, which is a big part of what I love about playing the harp. Oh, this is an interesting phenomenon. This is a bit of a spiky cactus that I'm wanting to get out here. Maybe I should grab a glove. There's one. This is a bit gross and dirty, but at least it will protect me from the spikes. So yeah, I've been just making up some little things on the harp, you know, improvising, just having some fun and not really caring too much about what it sounds like. But if I like what I'm playing and suddenly feel like, oh, I need to remember this, then I just grab my phone and make a little recording. Wow, this is a mass of roots. I was not expecting that to happen. Maybe we just take this tree out and start again with the succulent arrangement, because I think this guy needs a bigger pot. Okay, oh yeah, you can just put him in his own one. That's brilliant, Angus. I love it.
Solo.
The pot where I crouch in the corner. So the other thing I've been doing with my harp playing is recently it's been a bit of a tough time in my immediate family. I mean, me and Johnny, because my husband Johnny fell when he was getting out of the shower and he hurt his wrist. So it's been in a wrist brace, and it's really difficult when you're a professional musician. He teaches electric guitar and performs and all of that. And it's just really discouraging when you can't use your hand. So I've been driving him to appointments and helping him with that. And sometimes when you just have a hard day, sometimes he just needs a bit of encouragement. So I've been actually using my harp sometimes, just if he's feeling particularly stressed, then I'm just sit there and I'll come and play the harp. And it's quite fun to be able to do that because yeah, I don't think I would say I've used the harp for that with family members and friends as much as you would think. You know, I've often played my harp for people just so they'll enjoy the music, but I don't think I've spent that much time playing the harp for people who are really struggling or going on through a hard time. And it's amazing how the harp music really can bring peace and calm, and it really makes a difference when I play the harp for him. So that's been a fun thing to explore. Now I'm going to start putting all the pieces back together, but I need a few more options. So I've got some other arrangements that also needed to be revamped, so I'm going to just add some more options here. So I want to know from you, what have you been doing with your harp playing recently? Have you been playing for friends or family. Whoa, this one is a crispy one. It's got some really like some old leaves that need to be pulled off. It's time. It's well past time. So if you hear some crunchiness in the microphone, which is right up here, it's old crunchy leaves. Well, yeah, so I would love to know, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? What has been bringing you joy with your harp playing recently? And I was thinking, with these succulents arrangements that I'm revamping now, that it's a bit of a metaphor for our harp journey. Sometimes, we need to take a little bit of a step back and pull things apart and refresh them a bit and put them back together. And I think with our harp playing, that might mean rethinking what actually is my purpose with the harp. Why did I love the harp in the first place? What did I want to achieve by playing the harp? Was it just playing for your own enjoyment at home? And if that's the case, then are you making sure that that's a priority in your life, that you actually have the time to just sit with your harp and enjoy the peaceful moment of playing the harp? Do you have pieces that you love playing that can just make that such a joy? But perhaps you wanted to play your harp for other people. And I know for some of us, it can be tricky to be brave enough to play for others. So how's that going? Are you hiding your harp gift away? Or are you actually stepping out and playing for other people, even when it's not perfect? Because it really can be such an amazing experience for people around you, for you to play even completely imperfect harp music, just for the joy of playing it and for seeing how it brings something beautiful to the people around you.
Squirrel or something.
There's some kind of animal back there, enjoying the inspiration. Like, I think I need to think through my harp journey too. I think we need some spiky ones in here, just to add a different texture in here. These ones also have some really old crusty leaves that are well past time to go. But I want to make sure it doesn't all start to look the same. Yeah. So when I started getting into making some succulent arrangements like this, I just thought it's such a fun way to put together different textures and make a little piece of garden art in a way. But it can get pretty expensive to buy a whole lot of succulents, and I don't like to spend unnecessarily on something that I can do myself. So I bought 1 or 2 succulent plants, and making sure it was the ones that are kind of overgrown and have a lot of little pieces to them. And then when I brought them home, I took all the extra leaves off and I propagated some succulent babies, and I had trays and trays and trays of babies that I then started turning into succulent arrangements. So, I think I need to go back to these spiky ones, but we need our trusty, crusty glove for that. So when we're taking apart, metaphorically, taking apart our harp experience, kind of like we did with these succulents, kind of taking it apart and looking at it, and we need to ask ourselves again, what really is our purpose? What makes playing the harp special? Why is it important to me? And kind of re-looking at that, because sometimes it gets hard to keep going when some aspects of learning to play take a lot of hard work, and it can be discouraging when things are a little harder than we expected, or maybe you had a physical setback like Johnny had with his wrist, and you have to kind of decide, is it still worth putting in all this time and effort when it's really feeling hard right now? And I think that's when re-looking at our purpose is so important, because that's what gives us the motivation and the energy to keep moving forwards. Last week, was it last week? I think so, yeah. We had our Harp Grove Zoom where we broke up into small groups to chat about harp-related things, with the members on our website. And it's always so lovely to hear different people's perspectives on harp topics. And what we spoke about last time was, is there one particular moment in your harp journey that's a really special memory? Or what makes playing harp feel really special to you? Because I knew some people have only just started playing, so perhaps there isn't one particular memory, but more just the experience of getting started or finally buying a harp when you've been dreaming of it for so long. That could be the special moment. So we had different people bringing different stories and perspectives, but it was just so lovely to spend that time kind of getting back to the why behind it. And kind of appreciating those special moments we have with the harp, because when it gets hard, we have to come back to that. And one thing that I noticed as we were talking about these special moments, wow, I am really spreading some of this soil all around. Sometimes life is a bit messy. But I noticed that a lot of those special moments with the harp that people were talking about actually took a brave step for it to happen. Things don't just fall into place automatically for everybody. For some of us, maybe a special moment with the harp or something really significant will just happen along the way, and that's great. But I think a lot of the time, in order to have those really special moments and kind of reach that purpose with the harp, or just, a snail. I don't like squashing snails, but at the same time I don't like snails ruining my garden, so it's always a bit of a, I don't know, ethical quandary. And I have to admit, sometimes I just throw them over the fence to the neighbors. Because I don't want to squash it. But that probably doesn't help at all, because they're just going to come back. Oh dear. But yeah, what I was saying is sometimes it takes some steps of bravery, or it takes those moments to be like, what do I want to do with my harp, and what does it take for me to get there? Sometimes it doesn't just happen. So it might be that we need to think, okay, I want to be able to play for this group of people, and they really love this type of music. So I'm going to start intentionally learning that type of music so that it will really be an encouragement for those people. They'll really enjoy hearing my harp playing. Or maybe it would be, I really want to get to this particular level of in my harp playing so that it can be a tool to do wonderful things. And in order to do that, I need to relook at some things about my harp technique and kind of fix some things up so that I can keep moving forwards and reach the potential that I want to reach. Or maybe it is that you want to just be able to play freely with the harp and improvise, or play from chords or something like that. And you need to look at, where am I trying to get to? And it may not be a specific goal, but it's just, I want to be able to play in this way, or for these types of people, or for this feeling, or whatever. And what do you need to do to get there? Is there a step that you can take today to intentionally move towards what you're wanting to do with the harp? I want to get some kind of frilly bits. I think maybe something from here, because this one's a little overgrown too. I was trying to just take one little frilly bit and they all wanted to come along. Okay, that should do it, I think. Oh, it's going everywhere. Okay, I'm getting quite sandy. Let's pop this in here. I think we're heading in a nice direction here. I'll show you a little closer at the end so that you don't just see me far away doing mysterious things and you never get to see what I actually did. Let's hope it looks good in the end. But that's not the point, we're just hanging out. Oh, but I keep forgetting these ones come with so many roots that it's going to be kind of hard to squash them in there. Oh, sand's going everywhere. I'll just trim the roots and maybe stunt his growth a little bit, but at least he'll fit in my arrangement. That's fine. So I want to know from you, what brave step are you going to take this week to go that one step closer to whatever your goal or purpose is with the harp? Is it going to be just playing for a friend or a family member? That could be a really great brave step. Or is it going to be sorting something out about your harp playing? We've actually got an exciting new thing that can help you if you want some help with your technique. We're about to, well, actually I think we've just launched, when this video comes out, we've just launched feedback videos where you can get some feedback on your harp playing. But whatever it is for you, you need to take that brave step, because learning to play the harp is not just some thing that just happens naturally. We actually have to do a lot of big brave things along the way, and buying the harp is not the last one, you know. Many more steps to come after buying that harp to get to where you want to be with your harp playing, and I think it's such a worthwhile journey. It's really not easy at times, but so worth doing. So here's the arrangement. It's got some good points. It's definitely not the best one I've ever made. There's some little guy that's kind of falling over at the back here, and I feel like it should have had some purple and different texture to it, but you know, here it is, and it was fun making it with you. So let me know, what's your big brave step? Oh, little snail.